Hey guys, it's me the Bombay Chef Varun Inamdar and welcome to Get Curried. Well, today's recipe is one of the most requested recipes. It's a Bangude Pulimunchi. Well, it's a Bangda curry, Pulimunchi style from Mangalore. Let's begin. Well, of course, we'll come to the fish much later. This is Bangda. For the uninitiated, it is Indian mackerel. But of course, we'll come to it later. Let's first begin with the spice mix, which needs to be roasted. I'm beginning with fenugreek. Now, before beginning the recipe, let me keep this down. Let me explain to you the 3 stages. And I'm telling you why, because if you see this recipe otherwise, or if you read this recipe, this may sound very complicated, but I've made it very easy in terms of layout. So there is row number 1, row number 2, and row number 3. And why I'm saying this is because row number 1 and 2 would form the paste, the chutney, the masala or the paste. Row number 1 needs to be roasted. Row number 2 mixes with the roasted masalas and becomes the paste. And row number 3 is for cooking later. Now, picking the fenugreek again and beginning with roasting the spices. Fenugreek along with cumin seeds, ajwain seeds or carom, again one of the most unusual inclusions in a fish curry recipe, coriander seeds, and black peppercorns. Stir this on low flame to ensure that all the essential oils start releasing. You do not need to bring in a lot of color. Just make sure that it's well toasted. While doing this, I'm also going to add in red chillies. Well, I'm personally making a very small batch, but in case you're multiplying the recipe and making a larger batch, ensure that the tinier spices are roasted separately and the chilies are roasted once that's done. With this, the spices are done and ready. Let's cool these down completely and then we move on to row number 2. Let's move on to row number 2 along with row number 1. So here goes row number 1, which is all your roasted spices. And to this, I'm going to add in the second row, which is ginger and garlic, red onions, which are roughly cut. Along with this, tamarind for that sour kick and punch. This is of course soaked in some warm water. I'm retaining the water just in case we need some water for grinding. I'm going to use this. Not that we would require it because onions have a lot of water already in them. And finally, turmeric powder. Let's cover this and grind this into a smooth paste. With this, a fine paste of Pulimunchi is done and ready. Let's keep this aside and straight move on to cooking this. Let's begin with medium flame along with coconut oil. Well, this is possibly one of those only fish curries that I know that does not require tempering, yet it's extremely flavorful. Trust me, once you start making this, you'll get used to this. Before this begins to heat, I'm going to add in this paste. Do not waste even a drop of this wonderful paste. Let's add in some water, as much as it is required for the fish curry. Let's pack this back, shake this and keep this aside. We're going to require this just before adding in the fish. Let's stir this well. Time to add in a few more ingredients, beginning with chopped onions, some curry leaves, chopped ginger, and chopped green chilies. So unusual, isn't it? Let's mix this well. And time to add in salt and water. For the water part, remember, I'm going to use the water from the grinding jar. Let's stir this well and cook this precisely for 4 minutes. Medium flame works just perfect. Once the curry has boiled for 4 minutes on medium flame, we'll add in the Bangda fish. Now, I personally like using baby Bangda or baby mackerel, but again, you can use the fish of your choice and the size that you prefer. Let's stir this without, of course, breaking the pieces of fish. Just cover this lightly, lower the flame and allow this to cook for a further 10 to 12 minutes. Our Bangude Pulimunchi is done and ready. With this, off goes the flame, and this straight goes in the serving bowl. Well, I personally like using a deep platter for something like this because the gravy is nice and thick and the fish can be easily lifted without breaking. And that makes it very, very, very important, especially while serving a fish curry. Well, this, needless to say, goes amazingly well with a bowl of steamed rice. I'm sure you're going to love this recipe. For more such recipes, stay tuned to Get Curried.